Welcome to the brand new Strictly Bias with Will Retherford. Of course, Will's been with me from the very beginning, but this is the new format, new version, new title. On today's podcast, Will talks NFL and only NFL.
You are listening to Strictly Bias with Will Retherford. And here's your host, Will Retherford.
Welcome, everybody, to the first edition in Season 2 of the Central Indiana Sports Report of Strictly Biased with myself, Will Retherford, guest hosted tonight by Greg Mengelt.
It's really weird being in this chair, Will.
It is. I feel a little weird actually talking to you like you're not the one that should be doing my job right now. But
No, it's yours now.
The tides have turned, and we are finally at a place where I am ready to take on more of a role with my show. Our show will air on Tuesdays and Fridays twice a week. We'll have Tuesdays as more of a...
At least during football season.
Yeah, at least during football season. More of a preview. We'll be on Fridays, more of a review of the following weekend, and Monday Night Football will be on Tuesday nights.
And Friday we'll focus strictly on football. Tuesday we might talk about some other stuff.
Yeah. Well, not really a whole lot going on right now outside of the Fever and baseball and the PGA.
Yeah. It's a pretty slow
playoffs.
time.
It's slow for us, but we've got, 2 weeks? Well, college football starts in next week.
Saturday. Actually starts Saturday.
Yeah, week 0 this Saturday, yep.
It was a pretty good one.
Absolutely. I know you have a lot to say, but first I want to know what you want to know. So, what is one question pressing Greg Mengelt this evening?
I think as we head toward the NFL season, I want to know, is there a team that we're not thinking of in the NFL that could win the Super Bowl? Nobody's thinking about them.
See, I like that question because I feel like there's a few teams that we've briefly talked about on our show.
Yep, you can't say the Chargers and Broncos.
Minimal conversation. I think if we're straying away from those two, I think a team that I really think has the potential to be a Super Bowl caliber team in the NFC is the Arizona Cardinals. I think they take a big leap forward. I think that they have, really all the talent on paper. Is it a stretch? Absolutely. But as we've mentioned, I'm not sure that there's really much of a shot outside of maybe 6 teams.
Plus, who's going to win the West?
Nobody. They're all going to be fighting, I think, for third place probably in that division. I don't see the 49ers doing it. I don't see the Seahawks doing it. The Rams of Stafford, I don't know what's going on there. I feel like the Rams are definitely warranted of that conversation too, but I feel like the Cardinals and the Rams are the 2 sleeper teams. Nobody's really talking about the West.
Is it time to talk about football contenders already? You feel like you can already start to stack them up, Baltimore, Buffalo, or is it too early to start talking about that yet?
I feel like if we have to go into the conversation assuming that the best happens for everybody, and if that's the case, then there's 6 teams we're talking about. If injuries happen, if things just don't go the way that they're supposed to, I guess there's a chance for some more teams to probably step in and take a chance
Colts
at maybe being that contender. I don't know. I don't know if the Colts can do it. I want to say that I like their chances to potentially make the playoffs, but I don't think that they're not a Super Bowl team. So yeah. I think and when we're talking injuries, we're talking Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, Mahomes. Like those 3 go down, I think you probably throw those.
Jalen Hurts. Saquon Barkley.
I feel like Saquon to me is probably more of a impact loss as far as what he provides to that team, the way that he is dynamic both in between the tackles and outside the tackles, his ability in space to make people miss. I believe he was the 2nd or 3rd leading rusher in the league last year without getting touched. Maybe he led the league in yards or would have been there before any contact. So, It's not hard to hand the ball off. A lot of people can hand the ball off. So
Part of that was scheme. Part of that was blocking.
I mean, I think
a lot of it's blocking.
It's all. I think the offensive line has a lot to do with it. But if you remove Jalen Hurts from that team last year, how much different does their season look? I don't think that
they're not a Super Bowl champion.
Probably not a Super Bowl champion,
but
they're an NFC championship team, probably just with the talent on their roster alone. I think that's fair to say. Like, it's fair to say that he elevates them, and he is a top 8 quarterback.
He's great, and Barkley's great, and the tush push and all that. That team won that championship because that defense came of age.
Absolutely. They came of age, and they just won the trenches. They bullied teams both offensively and defensively on the line. Their front seven was phenomenal. Obviously, DeJean was great. Reed Blankenship really took a huge role and a step forward as the strong safety last year. They just have all the pieces there to be a really good defense for years.
Question popped in my head today. Who are the best 3 pass rushers in the NFL?
If we're not even talking statistics, just like skill wise, who are the 3 pass rushers that you fear the most?
Because there are 4 that jump out to me, and I wonder how you would order this.
Edge or interior? I'm really afraid of Myles Garrett. I think that if he's on the field and healthy, he is, bar none, probably the best edge in the league talent-wise. I mean, there's an argument with Watt and Garrett.
And Parsons.
See, but I think he's such a liability. I mean, he's just in the media.
I don't care. I'm talking about pass rusher. He is a special defensive player.
I think
you don't
really
see
good.
that.
I think he's really good. I think that he's a tier below Watt and Garrett just with their longevity as far as they've done it. His first 4 years have been phenomenal. I'm not taking that away from him. I do question the health a little bit.
So is Crosby on that same level, or is he a level behind?
I think he's a tier behind, but I think that in a way he almost plays a bigger role because he doesn't come off the field at all.
Yeah.
I think that he overall probably has a bigger impact. I mean, Jalen Carter, I think, is an uber scary.
It was one of the best pass rushing seasons, postseasons I've ever seen for a defensive lineman ever.
His ability to
the numbers won't even tell you what he did. How great he was.
Daniil Hunter probably is warranted to be in that conversation. You know what? And we're forgetting somebody because of the injury of Aiden Hutchinson. Is probably in that top 4. I would say my top 4 would be Garrett, Watt, Hutchinson, and I'll give you.
You put Hutchinson ahead of Parsons.
I think Hutchinson's a really, really good football player. I just think we didn't get to watch him play. I mean, we just had an absolutely freak injury. Now,
he's great.
How does he come back from that injury? I don't know, but he was the heart and soul of that defense, and he was. I mean, up to that point, defensive player of the year probably running away with it.
When he first started playing, did you ever think there was any chance TJ Watt would be equal or better than his brother? Because he is. Probably not better, but...
I don't think he's better. I think it's a different era.
Different type of player, but...
He's much more of kind of a jungle cat, and I think that his brother was more of a bull. If you can think about that, Watt's a lot stealthier, probably a little faster, but JJ just had so much. He was so good, so good. You hated watching Colts-Texans games because you knew that JJ Watt was going to be there.
Hey, last week we talked a little bit about and I'm really interested in your thoughts on this. For the first time, we started talking about the teams that are going to be in the playoffs, and you seem to think you know who's going to be in the playoffs already.
I think I know.
So I want to know if you can clarify that, and I want to know where the Bengals are, and of course, I think in order to really know, you're going to have to know who's going to win the West and the South in the NFC.
So my AFC, I think, is pretty easy. The Bills are going to win the East. I think that give me the Texans in the South, probably just based strictly on. I think they have the best roster.
I'm starting to think Jacksonville. I'm just starting to think there's something
They give me
weird.
a sneaky suspicion as well, but I'm good just for the sake for the division winner.
And I've been on Houston for a long time.
For the division winner, I'm going to say Houston. They've won it 2 years. I think they've won it 6 of the last 8 years, so they've proven that they can. That they're kind of run the South. I really think the Ravens will probably win the North. I don't know if it's handedly, but I think they win the North.
So you think Pittsburgh's going to be there with them? Even with Mike Tomlin?
I think he'll keep them close. I don't think the Ravens are going to run away. They might, it might come down to the last week of who wins. But I think that the Ravens will ultimately prevail. I feel as if the Steelers are kind of one of those teams where they're just going to be there. Like, they're going to be there in that conversation that they can win the division, and then they won't. Because
is this based on you believe in Aaron Rodgers or whoever's quarterback?
I just think that their roster's good enough with – I mean, Rodgers elevates them. I mean, they were a playoff team last year with who playing quarterback? I mean –
right. For the last 7 years. I mean, we've had
Doc
Hodges and crazy guys getting into the playoffs.
I mean, Kenny Pickett, Mason Rudolph, like, if those are the names you're listing off, Rodgers is 4 tiers above all of those guys. So if he just is competent, their run game scares me a little bit. Obviously the Caleb Johnson kind of shores up, but I mean, they've got kind of a 1-2 punch between Jaylen Warren and Johnson. So I guess it just comes down to kind of, are those two able to establish, and can their front five establish the ability to run the ball? I mean, they've got Jonnu Smith that they traded for. They've got Muth. They've got Washington, who's their big 6'7" tight end guy. Looks like a power forward in the NBA out there catching passes. I think
Buffalo, Houston, Pittsburgh, and Baltimore locks. So what you're saying?
Oh, Pittsburgh's not locked.
Well, not Houston's not either. Someone from that division.
My locks. Yeah. My locks are Kansas City, Buffalo, Baltimore, Denver, and the Chargers. I think you're going to get 3 from the West.
You're going to lock 3 teams from the same division. That's wild.
They all 3 got in last year.
I understand, but you're going to lock all 3 teams.
Is the South getting 2? No.
Yeah. I could see Houston and Jacksonville getting there. I could see the Colts and Houston. Yeah, for sure. I don't think they will, but I definitely could see it. I could also see New England, Cincinnati.
Cincinnati's, I think, the other team that is on the outside of that.
I could see the Raiders possibly spoiling that. And being pretty good and making it so it's impossible for 3 teams.
And that could happen. That could happen. But I do believe...
I can see a lot of different ways that doesn't happen.
You're getting 2 from the West.
Yes.
That's the only division that I feel confident that you're getting 2 from for sure. Everyone else, I think that...
and all 3 are definitely favored to get in the playoffs.
Absolutely. In the NFC. So we go to the NFC. I like the Cardinals a lot. I think they're going to win the West because I think that Matthew Stafford's injury is bigger than they're letting
Justin
on.
Fry's the difference.
I do think their offensive line, I think he's a great teacher of the game. I mean, I think that you hear what his issues were at Ohio State, and it was recruiting. He's got, believe 2 of his offensive tackles. I know at least one, Paris Johnson, who is in Arizona, that was at Ohio State, and Justin Fry already has a relationship with. I believe that Kyler Murray is he's a phenomenal athlete and a capable quarterback. They have McBride. They've got James Conner. They've got Marv. Like, they've got enough talent offensively. If Gannon's a good defensive coordinator, kind of flies under the radar, you wouldn't necessarily think he is.
So everyone in Elwood's got to be a Cardinals fan this year if it's not the Colts, right?
I'm not. I mean, I'm only rooting for the Colts. Great for Justin Fry. I also not an Ohio State fan at all either.
Yeah, you guys were cheering at Oregon against him.
I would have been quite happy seeing him lose at the Rose Bowl when we were there in attendance.
Sorry, Justin. I disagree.
I'm not sorry. I appreciate what you've done for football, and especially everything that you did for Elwood as a football coach.
And your dad was awesome.
But respectfully, I could give 2 less shits if Ohio State won the national championship because you were there last year.
No civic pride at all.
No, I mean, these colors don't run. So the Eagles are making the playoffs. I as much as we've talked about an implosion, they're still going to make the playoffs. I believe that Washington will make the playoffs. I think that that's a really good roster. But that Terry McLaurin situation scares me a little bit. They won 12 games. I think the Vikings and the Lions make the playoffs, so I think that's 5 right there 5 that we've listed. and then
You
whoever
think,
wins
you
the
think the
South.
Vikings are better than the Packers?
Well, I don't know. I think the Vikings defense is. I think that if JJ McCarthy is just even okay at football, the Vikings are making the playoffs. Like as far as their skill level across the board, you've got Addison, who's going to be suspended for 3 games. I'm aware, but you've got Addison, Naylor, Jefferson as your wide receiver core. You've got Hawkinson. You got Aaron Jones.
Yeah.
If you're just competent, a good offensive line.
It's a nice B offense.
They made Sam Darnold. If that's a B offense, then I don't know if there's an A offense. And they have maybe the best play caller as their head coach in Kevin O'Connell. He was getting Joshua Dobbs, 300-yard passing games, 3 touchdown games.
We'll see how it goes in that division this year for him with McCarthy.
He's been there. He's been there
with McCarthy. I'm just saying. We'll see. Darnold, say what you want, had some experience and he has some ability. McCarthy has no experience, and it's possible he doesn't even really have a great ability.
Well, it's possible, but I do feel like that I think they're finishing last. I can sit here and say that he's better than the
6 and 11
was.
Now 7 and 10 for the Vikings. I'm saying
their Bears are going to finish below the Vikings.
So 7 and 10 for the Vikings, 8 and 9 for the Bears. The Lions and Packers are definitely making the playoffs.
Well, then I guess we have our teams, and we've got whoever wins the South, so the Bucks.
Yeah, I'm not certain about much in the NFC. Like I said, I'm not even certain about Philly.
Well, I've been on the record saying that too, and I'm not going to say that they are.
The only thing I'm certain is that the Lions are a playoff team because they have such great depth on their team. And I think the Packers are, because they're so young.
There's a step back coming from Detroit, though, I think a little bit.
Yeah,
just with
they're not going to be one of the best teams in the league. I think you're right about that. But they're definitely making the playoffs.
You know what? I feel convicted in my choices. I really do.
Well, this is awesome. The longer we do this, the more you're going to take over, and it's going to be our 20-minute podcast, maybe 30 sometimes when it gets really good, is going to be 85% you. But for now, I'm still going to kind of push my weight around.
You can.
I want to talk some NFL because I haven't much yet. We don't have a Colts guy cemented yet. Mike Hutzel is going to be our NFL guy, but he's in the middle of his busy season at work. So we haven't talked much NFL, so I've been pretty excited about this.
It's great when it comes around. I am a real sucker. The feeling of baseball coming back means a lot more to me than the NFL coming back.
I get that.
But it is very nice to have NFL football to talk about at the same time.
Let me ask you this, Will. My favorite sport for sure is basketball. My favorite team, without question, is the Pacers in the world. Mm-hmm. But just as far as intrigue in a league, since I was in 1978, it just is so fascinating. The different cities and colors, and it's just such a cool experience, the NFL.
I agree.
The league tries to ruin it, and from time to time, the players have tried to ruin it, and they tried to message us to death with the stupid PC crap, and they jump on board every fad that they think is going to get them better ratings, and it's idiotic, and still, you just can't help but love it. It's so great.
I mean, it's ingrained in American culture. I mean, Sal Palantonio wrote a book about it, of how everything connects to football. And it's important, I think, it's a family structure thing. You get to watch the game with your family. You get to go to church on Sunday. You come home, you turn on the NFL Today, or you turn on the NFL on Fox, and you watch the countdown shows, and then you're just able to relax. It's a time of the year where, I mean, really for half the season, the weather's kind of bad. Like, you're not really going out. Like baseball, there's a million things in the summer conflicting with you sitting down and watching a baseball game at your house or listening it to on the radio. The football, there's not. Everybody has Sunday off. Well, service industry doesn't, but like for the most part, most of America has Sunday off, and it's something that people just rally behind.
And you brought up Christmas Day, how much I love the NBA. It's an NFL day now.
It is. And I think that the fact that it was getting argued.
Well, my only argument was Michelle saying it didn't matter.
It matters.
Of course it matters.
But Christmas is the NFL's day now, as it does to whatever day it wants to make. Black Friday is the NFL's day. It is all whatever the NFL wants it to be.
If college football ever started a war with the NFL, they would lose so hard.
And that's why they don't.
They're
smart enough to figure it out.
And they're such bullies, and they're often the bad guy, the NFL. In a lot of ways, it's a bunch of slimy, rich guys who are playing with toys. And yet they still can't ruin it because it's such a great sport and such a great league.
Well, and what the NFL has done that the other leagues haven't is they've really capitalized on the parity. They've capitalized on everybody all the franchises basically being worth the same amount of money. Everybody can spend this much.
They were real smart with the Madden stuff.
Yeah, I mean, they just really provide the consumer with it's one of the few sports, and baseball's a lot like this. I mean, you're 60 and 102 Rockies are going to win 60 times. You got a chance to see 60 wins, but you also got a chance to see 60 losses. The NFL, the 1-14 team can beat a playoff team.
Absolutely.
And I just think that's the parity of the league. It's any given Sunday. You're going to get everyone's best, and I think that's what makes it important.
Thank you so much to Will. Please tune in for his podcast every Tuesday and Friday. You will not regret it. This Friday, I believe, Will and I will be doing our NFL season predictions, so please join us. Thank you so much for listening. Please do us a huge favor and share this podcast with a sports fan in your life and help spread the word that the Central Indiana Sports Report is here talking about Central Indiana sports every single day. Thanks again. The Central Indiana Sports Report is a product of ITG Media, and I love Susie.